space together, and we bring this special edition of VibeSpace Newark that we would like to welcome all of you to build with us. And we can start a new chapter on the startup ecosystem of Newark by inviting everyone to build. Everyone, even if you are not a developer, even if you are not technical, even if you are just a creator, if you have domain expertise, but you don't have budget for hiring a development team, or you don't have technical expertise to code yourself, we are here to say that yes, you can build. It is possible with a technique called vibe coding. It's a trend that started about last year or so, became very popular when we were starting to use the generative AI models, those ones that use the ChatGPT and all, for generating code. Started with little code submissions that developers could use to speed up their work, but these models are getting so good at it that eventually you can spit out whole prototypes, maybe even whole applications just with English. Sounds good, right? So this is the idea. We don't have a mic. Thank you. If we have a mic, that's good, but yeah. Okay. So this is the proposal today. And let me ask first, how many of you are developers? You know how to code with JavaScript or Python, something like that? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of you, okay? Good, because for all of you, 4 of you, it might be a little beginner level. It might be boring sometimes because I'm going to go over some basics of hosting, creating a website. It's going to be very introductory, okay? For all of you that you don't know how to code, you are in the right place. Have you ever imagined that you could build an application in a single day? Like with login, landing page, buttons, forms. Cool, right? People used it to raise capital with this 10 years ago. We built things like Uber, like Netflix, and now using engineering. Eventually, you can build all of that without raising capital first. You can build on yourself. After you know that you have something very important called product market fit, we're going to speak about that today, PMF, then you can start investing. Okay, then you get help of a specialist team, then you get help of a developer, a technical co-founder. That's very important, but a lot of people do that before. I did that 6 times. I built perfect products, 0 bugs, 0 problems, and 0 clients. That's not cool, right? Yeah, you're laughing. For me, it's very sad. Just kidding. I brush it off. That's a good way to learn. If you need to learn something in your life, commit mistakes, and then those mistakes can teach you a good lesson, right? So this is why I'm teaching this new way of building. That is going with a prototype as quick as possible from idea to your customer. Don't spend months on that. Please spend a weekend, maybe a week. Test with your final client. Test with your public, and then you can start investing more time and resources to build it. That would be the ideal flow, so that you avoid doing this 000 problem that I have. I wish I had at least 7 clients, because then would be 007, right? But no, flat 0. Okay, so without further ado, let me check this stream. Okay, I guess we're good here, right? Peter, it's my turn helping.
Yeah.
Thank you, Peter. Okay. Everyone say hello,
You're
Peter.
welcome. Hello.
Good.
Pleasure.
He orders some muffins for him, okay? So he's well fed too. Okay. So without further ado, let's get started with the idea. I'm going to bring you the technique of vibe coding with balance, okay? I'm going to explain why. But before we start, let's do a vibe check. This vibe coding terminology is very trendy right now. A lot of people are speaking about that. There are insane valuation by these companies out there. billions of dollars deals with Anthropic, with Cursor, Windsurf, and all of these companies. You might have seen that in the news. If you follow tech news or entrepreneurship news, you might have heard of these kind of companies. And what do you know about it? Maybe 2-3 people raise your hand. Let me do a vibe check of how the trend is settled here in Newark. 2 people, 3 people, volunteers. Yes. Wonderful. What's your name? Sorry? Christian. So Christian, you have heard about this terminology of vibe coding before, right? And have you experimented with it for searching stuff like this area saying? Yeah, nice. How did you find it so far? Nice. Well, a good story. Good start with vibe coding. Anyone else? Of course.
Virtual one, and that virtual I learned platforming. It was like literally very surprising moment for me. Like less than half an hour period, I was able to build up my application, and I was like, "What's going on here?" So this platforming is very democratizing force as well in the market for people who doesn't understand coding, who also doesn't have like the background. That is why I really closely try to closely follow the trend as well.
Wonderful. You have created the website that day, right? In half an hour. That's wonderful.
So I have a communication intel background for the military. I work at I'm now an influencer. My algorithm. I never knew that it was called vibe coding, but this past year I'm also author. I've been working with several tracks to clear my writer's block. My writer's block is cleared. I pumped out like 6 graphic novels, a bunch of short stories. But then I started taking AI and doing deep research on certain topics, and then from there transitioned into different landing pages that have integrated AI that have different products. That makes sense.
Wonderful. No, that's great. That's great. We did this vibe check because this is exactly what I want to bring you. Why we are calling it vibe coding, right? This quoting Rick Rubin, vibe coding, and he says that this is the punk rock. I'm going to explain that punk rock of software development. Now, let me explain you why vibe coding is the punk rock of software development. Why he says it like that is who here follows the music industry or play some music, some creators, some nodding heads, not that much. Some of you might be, I'm a software developer, so someone punking on my backyard and it's not cool. So let's sort this confusion out. The same way that punk rock opened a new chapter for music without destroying the music industry, just open an avenue for people to express themselves. The same way vibe coding is opening this new avenue in software development, okay? Before punk rock, you would need to go for a lot of music education before you would be able to be a successful artist, a successful band for you to produce music and get popular, right? With the trend of punk rock, you could learn 3-4 chords and you could start to express yourself. And this even had political influence in some countries, in England, especially here in New York and in the heart of the rock bands that started here. So this movement that happened in the music industry is happening as well in the software industry, because now you just need to learn a technique or two and you can express yourself. Does it mean that it's going to be a beautiful symphony over the night? No, it's going to be expressive, it's going to be raw, it's going to be hard, but it is going to get the message delivered, right? So when you bring your background about the vibes, I guess this is why this terminology fits so well. It's not a very good technical terminology, of course. It's kind of groovy on the ground for enterprise people, yes. But for builders, this can resonate a lot. This sends a message. It sets the tone for what we're doing here, right? So this is not formal coding. I've been teaching for more than 10 years. I know how to teach formal coding. But here I'm just vibing. I'm putting this upside down for teaching you how to ship stuff without knowing how to code. Okay, so let's demonstrate how that would go. Just see if we have questions here. No comments so far. Okay, anything, Peter? Let me know if we have any questions in the chat. If any of you have questions anytime, you can raise your hand. Okay. Before going through this whole presentation, I want to capture your attention first of what is vibe coding, what vibe coding can do. And I would invite you to test it out with me for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, connect to the Wi-Fi, pick a computer. If you don't have a computer, you can use your phone for that. It's not going to use any hard resources. You would go for this website called V of Violet, number 0, .app. This is a free website. They have a paid plan, but this is a free website that you can start right now, can create your account right now, and this is going to set the tone of what is vibe coding, what vibe coding can do for you. Okay, we don't have many power cords, nothing needs solving that, but for now, maybe pick your phone or your computer if you have battery. You should be able to test it out. Okay, the idea of vibe coding, like I said, is that you can go from English to application without manually writing the lines of code. This is one of the many websites out there that can do that for you. There are applications that you can install on your computer for that, like Cursor, like Windsurf. There are websites like V0, Lovable, Bolt, Replit, and many others that you can try. This is one of the most versatile and well-structured that I can recommend for. If you want to test it out, if you have never vibe coded before, I really recommend you to go to v0.app and test it out with me now. Why I want you to test it out hands-on? Because there are a lot of people lying to you out there, people. There are marketeers, there are salespersons, there are influencers that they want to push a message without substance. They want to appear relevant, but they are not grounded in truth. So I want you to do the opposite. I don't want to be popular and influential. I want to show you the tools so that you can experiment with them. And I cannot lie with facts. You go there, you test, you see, oh, this doesn't work. This is broken. And I would agree, yes, it's broken. We're going to see that in the presentation, that a lot of things will go wrong here. But before we get there, I want to put that on your hands for you to test it. So go to v0.app and you're going to voice out an idea of an application that you have. If this was 2010, let's say you are watching a good MTV music clip while they had that in the computer, in the cities. Remember, those were good days. 2010, and you have an app idea. Oh, this new thing called website. I'm going to make music streaming there. What would you do in 2010 or 2005? You would invest a lot of money to hire engineers to build that, maybe raise capital, unless you have a lot of money already, right? Nowadays, if you have an app idea, you can just voice it out, typing with your fingers or maybe even voice. Let's try this now. Would any of you have brilliant app ideas that you want to see out there to solve real-world pains that you could not take out of paper yet? I just need one volunteer. If you want to raise your hand, I can take your idea and paste it and pass it for V0.
Maybe we can say a meal plan for 7 days. You know, consistent like every day, 180 grams of protein, and we total max of 2,100 calories for an adult person.
For adults, yeah, for adults. A meal plan app for 7-day meals with measure macros and micros for adults, something like that. Is that a good idea? Who would buy that? I would. I need to. Who wants to invest? $10. So, how would you develop this app like 5 years ago? You don't know how to code, right?
I have no idea what.
Anyone here who codes? You said that you code, right? One, you code too, right? So, any ideas how you would develop this app in the traditional way? Full stack app would have a backend. We would code like a server, like a node server, something like that, right? One. Oh, of course. Yeah. You are in the vibes, but I mean, in the traditional way, before the punk rock, you would hire a developer team for that, right? Maybe this is a simple app might take, let's say, a month or 3 weeks to develop. Might be a simple one. Maybe you put your age, would calculate the nutrients and all. Nothing. You even had an idea similar to that, I remember. So this could be a simple app. But now, all that we need to do is type it and press this button. I invite you to do that as well. Type it and press this button. This could be a fake presentation, a video. So don't believe me. Test it out. Go there and put it in press, okay? There are too many voices telling noise out there. We need to separate the noise from signal by testing things in an easy way. So there is an AI here. This is not sending this workload for a human. Unfortunately, this is being automated without the human in the loop. There are solutions for there. We can discuss that in the panel if needed. But there is a model that would think with a lot of quotes. Okay, whenever you hear an AI company saying that their model is thinking, it's like those lies that we tell kids. Oh, why this sky is blue? Oh, because it reflects the ocean, whatever. We tell some things like that to the kids just to avoid explaining the whole optics and physics of the whole universe for a 5 years old, right? So when they say that a model is thinking, it's because there are a lot of things behind that are like tokens and relationship between the probabilities of the next word happening behind that they call it thinking, but it's not actually thinking. If you ask it to sum a number, a big number, another big number, it's going to get it wrong. If you ask it to do complex tasks, it's going to get wrong. If you ask it to count how many R's there are in strawberry, it's going to get it wrong. So there are a lot of wrong steps, but they call it thinking. It's like those lies we tell kids. So it is thinking that we should have a meal plan, should have a detailed nutritional information, adult focused nutritional targets, blah, 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 how you should build. And the app coded everything. It created this file and this file. I know these files because I know development. This is a TypeScript, a TSX file for React. Here is the code. I did not write a single line of code. I only vibe it. And here's the result. It is a 7-day meal planning that should have on Monday, should have yogurt, grilled chicken salad, salmon. Okay. Well, I would add some bacon. Add some bacon. Please, just kidding. So this is the app. Took what, 5 minutes while I was explaining? 2 days, 3 days. Okay, here. So I can add it. Okay, I can add it. Oh, it's not working. Progress, goals. Okay, it's looking good, right? What do you think of it? Yeah. It's scrolling now. This is vibe coding. Questions? Questions? Yes? It's going to be hosted in this company called Vercel. They created V0 as is a code generation platform, and they provide the service of hosting the website for you. They charge for that up to a limit, but they also have a free plan. So you can use it for free and also show people your website up to an amount of usage. And after that, you would need to pay them like $20 per month or so. But for the things that we are going to do today, it's for free. So that will be publishing this web hosting app called Vercel. Yeah, you do, because this is private here. The code would be inside your repository. You can put it here. And they have as many legal claims on the code that you make here as the pen manufacturer has ownership over the books you write with it, you know? So they are just a tool. It's very common for developers to use environments called IDEs that they allow you to manage files, compile, debug, and all. Those are writing tools. So the pen manufacturer would allow you to write books, and these IDEs, these software environments, would allow you to write software. They cannot claim that they own the software made here with this tool because it's you prompting, you doing the results. For the legal opinion, I would of course recommend you to look at lawyers and specialists on that. But for writing code only like that, it's the coding lesson that you put in your repository should govern your rights and warranties and liabilities inside your code base. Okay, good. And we're going to do a full exploration of that tool later. Okay, this is just the conversation starter. I want to grab your attention, right? So this is why we started with it. Any other questions? Did it work for everyone? Anyone experience bugs? I have a few bugs. When I click here to progress, it doesn't work. Goals, it doesn't work. So vibe coding is like that. We're going to see that. Okay. Let's see. Yep. Yeah, bro, you are asking all of my next slides. That's great, because there are two. Keep doing that. There are two ways to vibe code. For example, if you are using Gemini, you are probably an advanced vibe coder, would call like that, or more like a prepper, that you know how to go from ideation to describe your idea on doc. You research and define with the Gemini CLI or Cloud CLI, and then you write and review a PRD, and then you do the IDE setup. That would be like writing the rules, including the docs, configure the templates, install the MCP servers. When you do the pre-code with the Gemini CLI, you need to create work in progress pull requests in GitHub, create and review test lists to see if they are correct, create the unit tests, and then you start implementing the feature. Sometimes you gotta ask the AI to fix it because it doesn't work, and then you reverse and commit and reverse and commit and revert. This is the usual flow that most of the playbooks out there, they say, they tell you to do. 20 steps of vibe coding with Cursor, how to vibe code a full app in 2 hours with Gemini CLI, the best way to connect your MCP servers with Cloud Code. There are a lot of tutorials out there. Okay, I've done a bunch of those as well. If you go for my YouTube channel, you're going to see 2-hour lessons on that, 1-hour lessons on that, and they are useful up to some extent. Okay, now we are getting to the actual content of vibe coding. And there's the other stereotype, the careless. Let's just start to code. You don't know what's GitHub, what's Git. Just want the AI to make this app fast. You want to deploy to Apple Store. Yeah, I want my uncle to test that. I want my mother to test that. But you cannot deploy that to Apple Store. It doesn't work. And then you try to fix the errors and it doesn't work, it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And then you post it on socials. Oh, I tried Vibe Code, this app, and then it didn't work. This is very common as well. If you search for vibe coding in the social medias and all, a lot of people are saying, oh, I tried and it doesn't work, okay? What is Coursera? They don't know what is this tool. So there is a quick video, meme video, showing those two stereotypes, the prepper and the careless. Let me check on my audio here.
Mateus, here in the stream, we are not listening to it. Mateus?
More cars, more blue, more violence. Did you even read my top-down lines? This report for the top-down menu? Make it to me. No, wait. 40. Smell the graphics. The ISO 27001 standard. Oh, please, please, please. Still stuck in that time. Make next step. Priority, next one, come on! Make GTA 6 only.
So those are the two stereotypes of vibe coders out there. If you look on the social medias, if you're hearing the vibe coding for the first time, that might not be that clear. But if you have seen this trend in social media, you are going to see that very often. These two people there. Let me just see my stream. I guess the audio was not streaming, right, Peter? Okay, no worries. Yeah, next time I promise to fix that. So, which of those work? Well, which is more efficient? None of them. Both methods have problems with different hops. It's extra steps to have the vibe coding apps failing at the same time for the same reasons. So, what should I do? The idea is that you should balance the amount of time and money that you spend on each computation, because you can pay for larger models, for bigger tools, for more advanced plans in those tools. If you pick the more expensive models, but they can also yield more precise, better results. If you pay for like GPT-5 or Cloud 4, Gigantic, GTA 6, like the guys. So you can pay with your credit card for using those bigger models. But there are situations that only investing in specialized human time and attention can unlock real progress. So as for now, at least on mid-2025, the LLMs can't actually reason. When they say that the model is thinking, like I told a while ago, they are simplifying the truth, okay? These models are something that we are calling stochastic parrots. Stochastics, it means like guesswork, and parrot because it can speak like a human. Parrots are one of the only animals that can ask questions, can speak like humans. As far as I know, like monkeys don't ask questions, something like that. I'm not a specialist in animals. I'm just reusing this terminology that some people use, some AI researchers use it, to exemplify that these LLMs are just spitting out what they have heard before without actually getting the meanings of the words. Okay? If you teach a parrot to say, I love bananas, the parrot's not going to understand the concept of love, the object of bananas. It might even relate the phoneme to the word itself, but the concepts are going to miss the parrot because his brain is not able Their brain is not able to process this kind of information. The same thing with the LLMs. They can repeat information, but they are not actually going through it, the symbolic processing, the neurosymbolic processing of the meanings behind the words. They're just repeating the patterns, okay? So most problems worth solving in the real world, they still require a human in the loop that can make sense of things, even when using modern language models, okay? Let me give you two examples to visualize this very, very complex topic. These LLMs, they are language models. They use words, tokens, as we call them, strings inside the programming, the programming inside the IT world, IT industry. And you do think on your head, right? Maybe you can listen to yourself. Oh, I might have another bagel. They're here if you want. You might think with words on your head, right? So you imagine, oh, if the LLM can think with words, they can think like I'm thinking now. I'm not a specialist on psychology or psychiatry or anything like that. I've tried to read some books, but they only made it worse. Like every page I read, I know less about the subject, so I stopped reading. So as far as I understood, there are some processes that go in our minds that are not word-based. And that is an example of the book that I'm going to copy. It's I forgot the name of the book, Human Mind something. I'm going to search for that. Think of an apple, like a red apple. You can think of that, right? Visualize that on your head, maybe ahead of you, like this. Try to picture it. Now, turn it upside down, like 180 degrees, and cut it in the middle. Like take the right part off. And then turn it ahead or behind, whatever, doesn't matter. Can you visualize that cut apple now? It should be like white, so you should see the seeds in the middle or something like that. This is a thought process that we can do on our heads. Our brain is able to do that. You could be able to paint this in a paper and everyone would paint something similar. Then you would be able to access the output. That doesn't involve tokens, doesn't involve words. You might even think of apple. You might even think, oh, I'm hungry. You might even remember of a childhood memory or something that you did this week. It might even come to your mind, but still the process that is giving that output doesn't involve tokens. It involves something else that I'm not a specialist to say, but it's not tokens. The LLMs cannot do that. And this is a crucial part for you to come up with ideas and architectures and systems. So the LLMs can spit out code that look like code that was out there in the past, but they cannot figure out where to put the correct elements, the correct buttons, the correct flows and all, because they are still missing that single part, that singularity. They might solve that in a couple of years, in a couple of decades, a couple of centuries, I don't know. But right now, the LLMs cannot do that, okay? There is a second example that I find it way simpler. Imagine you're walking in a field, like in the countryside, in a field, a grass field, a plains. There is a fence, white fence, wooden fence, and there is a word written like this, bull, B-U-L-L. What do you infer? What would you infer from that? That is an animal. In the other side, a bull in the other side, and is dangerous. You should not cross there. You can relate that because you lived that, you saw that in movies, you know. So you know that the animal is not on your side, you know that it's in the other side, even though you cannot see that. You can relate that someone wrote bull there so that kids don't jump the fence and get hit by the bull or something like that. This is a thought process that comes from image and comes from the things that we experienced in the past, from social interactions. This is not only language. The LLMs cannot do that. If you put that in a robot, if you take a picture of that and send it for an AI, they would never figure out just with LLMs that they should not cross to the other side unless they had some training for that or some functions for that. This is a human deduction that we do based on our experiences. Okay. Yeah. If you use prompt engineering to conduct with you your human brain, assuming that you're a human, then you would get that answer from the AI, But the AI wouldn't do that by itself, not with an LLM, because it misses this ability of doing links, subjective links of things that are not there, reading between the lines. Those are very two visual examples. If you want to go in the deep depth of that, I have like 6-hour courses on that, and you can go LLMs, the tokens, why they work like that, the little calculations that they do in the middle, the human feedback loop, the function callings, and all that work behind. But this is the least, the shortest explanation that I can do on why LLMs cannot reason. This is a very visual explanation. So this is the problem here. We are missing the core. This car is missing the engine. We cannot use intelligence where there's not intelligence, okay? So we need to be very aware of that while we're vibe coding. So you still need some good understanding about software architecture to deploy a fully working app. So vibe coding is a lie. Wait. I'm going to show. You still can use vibe coding if you are non-technical for something very important that is validating your idea. That's going to be crucial for our hackathon today. It's just that you should not expect this to be a fully working app out of a few prompts without a good understanding about software architecture, without having a good engineering team or co-founder around you, okay? With features like processing data on payments and this kind of stuff. Okay? You can even have 1 or 2 features if you are very lucky, if you know very well what you're doing, if you have a good teacher, but I wouldn't expect to have that money. I'm going to spend the next 5 slides or so exactly expanding on what you can or what you cannot do. The real power of vibe coding is not to do fully working apps from prompts. The real power of vibe coding is to shorten the development cycle from idea to prototype, instead of spending weeks and months, to just a few days or a few hours, maybe even minutes, like we did a while ago. So you have that idea, you can instantly check with that client, instantly check with that person, instantly check with that investor. You want a tool, I want to simply convert this PDF to this format. You can vibe code that in a few minutes, see if it would work. So vibe coding, as of mid-2025, is not for you to build and deploy fully working apps. It's for you to shorten the ideation process, okay? And if you are a software developer, if you know how to code, these AI coding tools, they can automate a lot of those grinding, repetitive tasks like writing unit tests, writing documentation, writing, linking the code, doing organization, refactoring, recycling code. So there are some automated tools that you don't need to spend too much brain power on it, and still can be solved by those AI coding tools. Okay, so I would recommend vibe coding for those 2 situations. To avoid wasting days prompting circles, I suggest following a path of convergence that we are going to yield enough usable output to justify the time practice spent on that specific computation. I don't want you to keep prompting AI for months, okay? You should have the results today, maybe in a weekend, maybe in a week maximum, and then you should be able to get your first client or your first feedback. If your idea is awful, not to use another word, you should discover it before spending months on that, right? And not test that quickly and not invest too much time on that. I want to put a chart here to bring your attention for something that happens very often. I've been doing that since November, vibe coding since November last year. And I find that a lot of people get lost in the peak of the Dunning-Kruger effect. Dunning-Kruger effect means that when you start getting enough knowledge on something, humans tend to peak in confidence in that subject because they don't know yet, they don't have a sense yet of how much they don't know. So at the first class that you do, first lesson that you do on music, on cooking, on woodcrafting, you might feel more confident than a specialist. And then you go and try something there, and of course you're not as resourceful and knowledgeable as an expert. So this is the Dunning-Kruger effect. I've been there for a while, and a lot of people feel that they have superpowers when they get here. Oh my God, now I can create $1 billion app. I'm going to make fun of that nerd I had in my school. He's making a lot of money with his app. I'm going to be more rich than him. I'm going to deploy an app. This sucker is going to see. So this is not cool, people. Let's be grounded, okay? Let's go through this peak, hold my hand until we get cultured enough to know what we don't know about software development. That might take a month. It might take more than a month, might take a couple weeks. Don't get lost with your superpowers when you start vibe coding. And I'm going to show why in the next slides. Because the UI might look good. I had a client a couple months ago that he had a very beautiful looking podcasting app. And he asked my help just to fix a button. That he made a podcasting app that he would send a message to the podcast and all, but the message was not arriving. And he was like, my app is 95% done. It's just that this button is not working. And when I went to see the project, there was no backend. He only had the UI. The UI was good, but he had actually 10% of his project. But he felt like he had 95% because everything was there. But there was no backend, no database, no API calls, nothing. And he made with a big AI company. So the app might work partially, but there are crucial missing parts in the backend. The app might work well from the user perspective, but there might be several vulnerabilities on it. Okay. So this is why I want you to go through this peak and go to the valley until you know what you don't know. Because even if you have a working app, the problem is that things might go down. For example, Leo was very famous on March this year. He built a SaaS with Cursor. His coding tool is a good tool. The problem is not the tool itself. And he was bragging, the AI is no longer just an assistant like we had the AI coding tools last year, like Copilot, even Cursor and all. He was saying AI is now the builder. Now we can continue to whine about and start building. And yes, people are paying for my app. He was boasting of that around, right? And what's the problem of having a few bugs? Well, he got invaded. People used his API keys, bypassed his subscriptions, created random things on the database. And then eventually he shut down his app, which is sad. Might be a good app. People were paying for the app, so it was solving a real pain. But because he was so fast to it, so quick to grab it, unfortunately, he did not pay attention to some of the security measures that were needed, and it didn't go well. And people, be extra careful, especially with personal data treatment. We had that problem with the T app last month, and it was catastrophic for the people involved. If you haven't seen that in the media, it's quick to check. It was an app that you could subscribe to share your experiences in dating or so. And it was vibe coded and was designed to protect women data, but instead it exposed like 70,000 image selves documents from women, putting them in a very vulnerable situation, which is definitely not cool. Okay, so I'm not trying to put fear in anyone, just grounding on what is needed, how much of technical expertise you should have or no. And as I said, over engineering is bad too. You spend 6 months building the app, test it for 3 more months, and then you have 0 users. This is not cool as well. Okay, I've done that 6 times, and I can guarantee you it doesn't make money. Okay, It's fun. You learn a lot. You make friends. Okay, but that's not fun as well. So how to balance those two? It's a simple graph. There is a red zone and there is a green zone. If you create too much technical complexity before you have users, you are above this green line. You are not in danger, but you are not making money. I've been here. I've been in this black line axis is my experience. I go high in the technical complexity and 0 users. Trying to solve that. Someone teach me. The red line, this red region, is the T app or Leo. They had too much user growth without investing in technical complexity. Didn't have the time to actually go through it and review the app, review the technical background and all. So the good band for you to be inside would be this green band. As your user base growth, you start with a little technical complexity, maybe landing page, maybe your website works, maybe a signing flow, maybe a whitelist, something like that. And as you go up in user growth, you start investing in more technical complexity. You invite a technical co-founder, you hire a technical team to develop your app or something like that. Okay? Getting a little tired. Hey, Peter, I'm going to decrease the music a little, okay? You guys, I cannot cut it. Let me see. Where's that music coming from? Oh, okay. I was thinking it was this music. Okay. Let me drink some water then. Maybe we can close that door. Okay, any questions so far? So this is the path of in the middle, how you should find or balanced growth. So in a nutshell, vibe coding is good for creating prototypes. Yes, no danger there. There is no payment, no private data. This answer for your question. We can create prototypes with it, and then we can test with the end user to see if they would buy, with the investor to see if they would invest. Your prototype can be your deck, no, something like that. For creating applications, okay, maybe. We're going to use vibe coding for debugging. Not the best idea. At this point, you should start looking for a technical co-founder or someone to help you while you develop your app. If you start adding features to your app with vibe coding, no, that's not a good idea, okay? Then you would need to learn like version control. Sometimes you create a new feature, it erases your past features. A lot of people share this kind of feedback in the social medias. I was vibe coding my app, it was working, and then I added the second feature, everything stopped working. Yeah.
Normal audience an acceptable amount of time would it be to assess if we're getting customers or not and before to move on? So like is it 3 months or is it like a big project? So I'm wondering like how do we determine that?
Yeah, that's a great question. We did a very good experiment upstate New York in Buffalo with a week. But it was a week that every day you would vibe code something, and then you would test with your potential client. So some sort of extreme programming flow. You would vibe code something, test, and then iterate version 1, version 2, version 3. And at the end of the week, Juan was there, one of the victorious projects that pitched at the end. At the end of the week, we had 7 projects pitching, with very good technical completeness, because I was also mentoring throughout the week. and even with the first clients sign it up, because in a week you can do that. Maybe a weekend or a week can be a good rule of thumb. More than that, if you vibe code for more than a week, maybe you are spending a little too much time before you're speaking with your actual client. Okay, that would be a good recommendation. And last year, of course, if you're scaling product to production, stop. Seek help. You should have a technical co-founder at this time or mentorship. Okay. Also, I've been managing software development teams for, I guess, 6-7 years now, and a lot of developers, they are good, especially when they start junior with a good software development practices. They read the documentation and all, but most of the tech industry, here's a meme to illustrate that, is composed by people that also write terrible code. Unfortunately, I write terrible code a lot of times, okay? So it's not because a code was written by a human that is flawless, okay? Where do you think that the AI learned to code from? From humans. And if the AI is doing terrible work, it's because it learned from terrible code built by humans, okay? And why do we write terrible code? Because sometimes you don't have time. Sometimes you don't have the requirements. Sometimes we don't have the knowledge, okay? All of that combined. So crafting a good, well-documented, performatic code and without bugs and all, it is difficult, okay? It's the top 10% developers that can do that, and a perfect flawless code, the top 1% developers that can do that. So most of the human write code there is also slop. So AI is producing slop, humans are producing slop, and this is software development. We have that on our pockets, okay? Those companies like Google, Apple, and now, of course, they have a lot of control techniques to make it work well, okay? But tell me, have you ever used an app, a famous app out there full of bugs? Uber is full of bugs, and Netflix is full of bugs, and all. Software development is difficult, okay? So it's an illusion of choice. You can have AI written code or human written code. You're going to have terrible code out there. The same way that what I'm trying to say with this meme is that the defining factor here, it is how you have a good development team or a good development backbone to support you on your app, especially as you are growing up, not before you grow. Okay, you can use AI to create slop code, because probably if you hire a junior dev or intern, it's going to do terrible code as well. So long as it get you clients and don't leak all the data is good. Okay, am I saying something wrong here, people who is in tech? This is true. Oh, I'm offended. My code is not terrible. Well, I know that my code is terrible. I did a lot of terrible code because I like to use TDD, test development, test-driven development. I like to do documentation. I like to do all of that. Sometimes my clients need a project for the next week, so I need to do spaghetti code and deliver because they need that. So terrible code is a thing. It's not only skill issue. It's a lot of things. So what are my suggested steps? How to navigate that? I got you interested in the beginning with V0, and now I'm sharing the truth. So am I being cruel to you? What I'm doing and torture? No, I'm going to show a step for you to tread to have maximum, to have the least chances of errors. Okay, imagine it's a slack line. There is a small path that you can go without falling over. If you go too much to the right or to the left, you can have problems. This path is the same path that big accelerators, Y Combinator, Techstars, and I'll tell you to go. Step 0, validate the pain without software. Interview someone, research the problem. There are a lot of research agents out there with ChatGPT, with manuals. I recommend one that's very good, Perplexity. You can get that from the social medias. Validate that before you start writing your lines of code, right? Question?
case do you develop a product, and how do you evaluate a product where your consumer doesn't know that they need this?
Yeah. So most of the startups, this is a very good question. Not your vibe code itself, but it's a great grounder for the ideation part that we're going to speak right now. Most of the startups, they build on or horizontal innovation. They make a process that already exists a little better. I'm going to improve the efficiency of lights in this building, or I'm going to increase the quality of this screen. Now, but some companies, they do a vertical innovation, like phones. No one had slobs of silicone in your pockets 3-4 decades ago. Who would carry a brick like this in your pocket? Maybe we had pocket watches, but no tablet like this in our pocket, especially this size. I'm kidding. I like you, bro. So these kind of vertical innovations like Uber, Netflix, Facebook, that shaped all of our lives, or brains, dopamine addicted now, politics, and now all surrounded by how you manipulate the news. These kind of vertical innovations start by visionaries that they don't build for the pains that exist now. They would build for the pains that are going to exist in 10 years from now, 5 years from now. Okay. And even smartphones, there are a lot of companies that did smartphones before Apple. The timing was wrong. So going back to your question, this kind of innovation, it's more on how you have your appetite and how you have your strength, your grit for doing these kind of vertical innovations, which are way more riskier but way more rewarding, versus some small horizontal innovations that are going to bring you money faster with less risk. So that would be the kind of positioning that you would do when doing the ideation for your idea. Duration for ideas might be too repetitive. Okay, and this is exactly the next slide. You guys are asking the question that I'm going to answer with the next slide. That's very good, because the ideation process itself can start from a technology, going from technology to application, which a lot of people do. I don't find this a good idea. Let me get your question before I proceed.
Yeah, no, that one of the ways of circumvent stuff like that.
Yeah, perplexity is a very good. I'm going to demonstrate that, how you can search for your problem before you even start developing. Okay, there are others like menus, like ChatGPT, Research Mode, Gemini. After the next slide, I can do a presentation on this demonstration. Okay, so a lot of people start by the technology. Oh, I'm going to build a data app. Oh, I know Python very well, so I'm going to build a data pipeline and then try to get customers. Oh, I had a great idea that this technology could be used for betting and prediction markets, so I'm going to do that. This is not a very good. Okay, this is a bad idea. A lot of ideas that start from the technology, they die out. Not because the technology is not innovative. It's a brand new novelty technology that you invented for food processing, for drugs and all. Technology sometimes is very innovative by itself, but it doesn't mean that people want to buy that. Doesn't mean that people need to buy that. I made a lot of products that people wanted that they don't sell. Products that sell, they sell a solution that people need. They need food, they need clothing, they need housing, they need to get from A to B, they need entertainment. The needs of the people dictate what they pay for. If it is good, it's optional. If it's optional, they may or may not buy your product, they may or may not engage with you, okay? So this is a bad idea. If you pick a problem that you have in your private life, the private life of a person that you don't know, or a private life of a person that you know, it might be a bad idea too, because you don't have that much of a contact with that person. You don't have that much of an understanding of the problem yourself. If you pick a problem on your life or at the work that you have or someone else's work, might be okay, an okay path. The best suggestion is picking a pain at your work that you know that you or your employee would pay for that. Because businesses, speaking of B2B here, B2B business, they have these kind of budgets. And here you can bootstrap your app very quickly. You can get revenue. If you are solving something that a company is spending money on that, it's an instant sale if you prove them that by using your app, they are going to reduce costs. Raise your hand if you don't want to reduce your costs. Instant sell. Here's my app. You are spending $3,000 converting those PDFs. I'm going to solve that for $60 a month. Give me 100. This is usually how it goes. This is the best path. If you do that from innovation yourself, it's brilliant, it's brave. But a good path as well would be to clone all the apps out there. Oh, that is Uber. I'm going to do Uber with a new pricing. Oh, that is Netflix. I'm going to do Netflix for a new use case. Oh, that is Amazon. I'm going to do Amazon for the Dominican Republic. Oh, I'm going to clone Facebook for pets. I'm going to clone YouTube, but I'm going to make it open source. This is good as well. Sometimes it's better than you to try to innovate something by yourself, because these companies, they have already validated their pains, the solutions that they are doing, their models, and then you just clone for another niche or another location. That's a good way to ideate as well. Okay? Practical exercise. Let's do one. How much time have we? Okay. And to speed up. For example, we can use Perplexity, like I mentioned. It's a good one. Is you streaming right? Any questions? No? Okay. So Perplexity is a good one because they have this research option in the free plan. I do have the full pro plan with me, but if you go for perplexity.ai, you should have this research feature on the free plan. Sometimes you gotta pay for ChatGPT, for menus, for other models to have this kind of feature. But if you use Perplexity free, you can do some sort of research, I guess 5 or 10 researches like that, deep researches for free. This is a good tool for you to test. Yes? I got in their program, I guess it's Perplexity. I forgot the name of the program. They have a startup program that is quite easy to enter. If you have a startup, you apply. See if you can Google that easy. Perplexity for startups. Yeah, 6 months. You get 6 months free. You get 6 months free of Perplexity Pro for 50 seats on this. Okay. And if I got, any one of you can get, because my startup's not that special, so it should be easy to get. Yes. Only $5, which is a boomer for me, because if you want to have a big API with Perplexity, you would be spending like $100 per month, and they only give you $5 credit per month on the API. But it's better than nothing. It's for free, right? So let's say 100 searches, give or take, depending on the size of the search. It's good for personal use, and you have 50 seats. If you have 50 employees, all of them can have Perplexity for free for 6 months, okay?
All 50 of them
I don't know. Check it. But there are other tools as well. So let's say use Perplexity, let's say use ChatGPT, you use menus, you use Claude, so you can have many sources for this. This is just one of the free tools that are out there that I could use. And let's research for an idea, another idea, some idea that you anyone would like to share a pain that you have in your work that you would like to solve? Professor, maybe I would pick one of your ideas for the Brooklyn College, some problem that you have that I could use as an example to research.
All across the campus right now, we have a real problem. Lack of integration into the campus.
Integrations for technological innovations. all across my campus. Innovations, missing an N here, across my campus. But I need to have integration for technology innovation. It can be like technology innovation can be, for example, for let's say internship programs, maybe integration for submissions of internship programs all across my campus. What solutions are there for this? What other universities have similar problems? This could be a research that you could pass for an intern. Peter, are you there? I'm stealing a job for an intern here. I'm sorry if you feel offended, okay? But your job is safe. Don't worry.
Okay,
This could.
fine.
Okay, that's fine. Did you get your muffins already? So
Uh,
this could be a job that you would give for a research company, an intern. Go and find out the solutions. It might take a week. Here, this AI is scrolling the web, getting all of the articles, all of the reviews, all of the comments that people made out there about these kind of problems. For example, it is reading this blog article of internship management systems, diversity internship programs, top 5 internship platforms and how to use them. You would need a week just to read through all of those and summarize and all. This deep research agent is doing research on itself, crawling all of this data and providing a summary for you. That is this tool called Handshake, this other tool called CSM, this internship management system from Gradlanders, Open Waters. Did you know about these tools? Nice. So look how they are. And if you don't trust those sources, you can always give a look under the hood. And for ideation, we are speaking about finding an idea pain, right? So let's say I want to innovate on that. Yes, want to ask a question? ChatGPT, as far as I know, in the paid plan, you can also do deep research. There is a flag, a feature that you can enable. I don't know if it's available that well in the free plan. Okay. Sometimes it can search in the web and give you results. This is available in the free, But the deep research would search in the web, would use the results to do the next steps, and again and again and again and again until the AI figures out that it found all the information it needs, and then it would go back for you. So it's more like a quasi pseudo-intelligent agent searching this information for you. Okay. And then I could ask help for ideation. So what are the gaps in these solutions that already exists? What are the major complaints? What should I build for innovating in this market, in this industry? So maybe the answer is going to be there are no gaps. Don't build there. It's too much of a competitive market. Or maybe the answer is going to be, oh, all of these platforms, they are English only. Build something in Spanish. Oh, all of these platforms, they are website only. Build something mobile. Build something for sight impaired people. Build something like this. So you can use the AI itself to ideate and research about your pain. Okay. So after we're going to have a panel. After that, we're going to have a lunch break. After that, you're going to have the afternoon for building. I would suggest for you to start with ideation. Start by nailing down an idea that is worth building, maybe that you can even find paid customers for that, something that's going to solve a pain that you have at work, or it's going to be a niched version of another tool that you know that works, and then you can narrow it down for your scope of work. Okay, so for example, for internship programs, the customers have voiced out the concern of inadequate support systems. So there are insufficient integration with academic systems. There are communication problems with poor feedback, not enough mentorship support, limited post-internship integration. There are some gaps in the employee industry. So at the end, you could have those opportunities for a new solution. For example, you could build a system that would integrate academic performance data with personality assessments, real-time skill tracking, and market intelligence. Okay? Mackenzie would charge you $100,000 for this assessment. Maybe you should pay them anyways, but I'm not trying to steal their cake. But this can be a good starting point. Who has $100,000 to pay consultancy for a Big Four here? I don't. So this can be a good quick win solution before you go that big, right? Okay, so that would come back to ideation. How I would ideate? I would probably use AI before coding anything, and the result would be a sentence. This would be the outcome of the step 0. I suggest you to do that in the first half a minute or so of this hackathon this afternoon. My app name is something to help an audience to solve a problem with a secret sauce. Okay? That would be the best definition. My app, Petty Lover, is a dating app for pets to help lonely poodles to find friends and mates with artificial intelligence. Well, might be. We're all laughing. This is my business idea. I might get an investor. There are a lot of lonely poodles out there. Okay. Anyone here has a poodle? Okay. Does him or her have problems dating? Okay. No worries. Could use my app to find friends anyways, okay? Just kidding. This is not a real app, but this is an idea. You should come up with a name, a placeholder name for your app, a very well-defined offering. Don't put too many things. People want features enough. I know that it's going to be brilliant for you to have those 3 features together, but start with 1. 1 feature well done is better than 3 half-baked features, okay? 1 feature, 1 offering to help a defined audience. Oh, my app is available for everyone. Yes. Pick an audience first, okay? Pick a neighborhood, an age group. Okay, that is your initial audience that you're going to understand very well. To solve a problem that someone needs to solve. Okay? One of my apps, now a real app, was a book writing app that you put your social media posts and the AI write the book for you. 0 customers. Why? It's a good idea. Who wants to have a book? I would like to have a book, okay? It's a good idea, but no one needs a book. Oh, I need a book now, I'm going to die. You know. Well, because otherwise people do it later. And then if they can do it later, it's very difficult. I could sell that app. It's called Book Write GPT, but I would need to spend too much in marketing and I don't have this budget right now. I know that people would pay for writing a book. It's super cool. A book looks like you and develop that we care. There's a lot of love in those line of codes, but no one needs a book now. So when I'm selling that, they give good feedback, but they don't pull up the credit card to pay because they don't need that right now. And I keep remembering them now and they don't buy. So try to get an idea that solves a problem that people need. food, clothing, housing, entertainment, welfare, anything that people need to pull up the credit card right now because this is a pain, a pressing pain in their lives. And then you are going to have a much, much, much easier effort in selling that to people. They're going to pull you.
You're I'm gonna offer you a solution. I'm average, so our intellectual property right is obviously important. We can let people know that their Instagram posts and their families, their pictures, that's all their intellectual property.
Yeah.
It can protect them by using their app. That's something that they need.
I could sell something for them. That's a good one. So solving something that they need to protect their intellectual property because they fear that they're going to lose that IP. Then they need, you see? That's brilliant. Trying to find something around you that people need to solve this problem. How many hours do you spend solving this internship issue? 20 hours per week trying to figure out, Imagine that I could offer an app that you pay $199 a month and then I solve that. And then you can use these hours to play golf or something. It's easy to sell, right? So an idea that is good, it's good, but it's hard to sell. An idea that solves a problem that the person needs is very easy to sell. Probably you want to start from there. And then the step 1, validate your idea. Build a landing page, and this is what we're going to vibe code today. You're going to use AI, V0, whatever tool that you prefer, to create a landing page or a document to test your assumptions against 10 different people. How many we have here? 20. So you could make a landing page, create groups, one validate the idea of the other. That should be a good working group for the hackathon today. Okay. Then your landing page should be like that. It's not rocket science. It's quite easy to go over. I can show you how to do that quickly with V0. You should go from hero to social proof, problem, solution, frequent ask questions, and CTA. And the CTA can be a wait list or a Google form or social media link or any similar call to actions to validate the interest of your end user. Okay, if you want to take pictures, but actually you don't need to tell that step by step for the AI. If you just use the word landing page, the AI should figure it out. Okay, should be very easy. And then you should get those 10 users, 5 users to interact with your CTA, and then get them waitlisted or fill a Google form or interact in the social media link or something like that. Okay, this is a good goal for today. I've been speaking for too long. We're going to test that in the afternoon. As next steps after the hackathon, you can build a prototype for testing the proposed solution. And there are the waterfall way to do that, the agile way to do that, the AI way to do that, the vibe coding way to do that. This is maybe for the next, maybe you got that through the weekend, so that you would have your prototype. And then step 3 would be actually building the MVP, a product that you might have a technical founder or someone to mentor you through the way. Okay? That would be the happy scenario. After that, profit. After that, you build a business, and then you would do all the normal step-by-step of building your business, doing a business plan, legal check, development plan, and all of that. Okay? I'm going to do a quick demo on like literally 1 or 2 minutes on how to do that for today, that I'm also going to be mentoring. Where is my V0? That is basically that. You're going to give your idea for the AI, and you're going to, I have already given the idea here, experience before, but you're going to ask something like this: make a landing page for this app. And you need to use this word landing page because the AI knows what's a landing page, knows that needs to have here and now, and it's going to figure out. You're going to describe your idea. You can use Perplexity to make the idea itself. It would solve the prompt engineering, the same thing we did last Tuesday. It would do the whole prompt engineering for you for creating the description of the idea. You copy that and paste here, or you build this manually by typing out into v0.app, Lovable, Replit, Bolt, whatever you want to use, even Cursor, Windsurf if you prefer, and that would create the app for you. Okay, we're going to explain a little more about the rules of the hackathon, how we're going to go around the submissions and judging later, but this should be the vibing part, the fun part for today. Once this finishes the generation, I'm going to show the website, and all of you are going to get very hands-on that today. Okay, we're going to have a short panel explaining about the industry in the moment, and then later we're going to have an afternoon for you to do the hacking yourself. Okay, let me see, let me put it full screen. So this is a landing page. It has a hero, very well done, CTA, view sample pro plan, nothing's working, that's brilliant. So the cards on how it should work, the NutriPlan in action, a demonstration, trusted by health enthusiasts around the world. Very good success rate, nice. So ready to transform your nutrition? Okay, it's a decent landing page. People have raised money with less than that. Yeah, you have the right connections. Okay, sounds like a plan. Ready to have fun? Okay. That's good. We're going to do a 10 minutes, 8 minutes break before the panel. So we have a few more bagels, grab some water, coffee, restrooms, and we're going to have the panel starting in a little while. Okay, and then afternoon we start with the hacking. Let me pick the schedule again. So a panel from 11:30 to 12:30, and then 1 hour lunch. We should kick off the hackathon at 1:30, start hacking at 2 or so, right? So a small break before we start the panel itself. Okay. Thank you, Peter. It was very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a great time. And
One-
I want to see the Budo dating app, okay?
Sign up for V0.app.
Yeah.
Oh, would you share the PowerPoint slides?
I will. Okay.
Okay.
I'll put the PowerPoint slide link in the Loom, okay, people?
Thank you. Thank you.
Let me do that.
Okay, guys. So we are here at the end of the stream. Hope you guys enjoy it. Here at the Venture Miner, we're building some stuff from zero. You could see a landing page, you can see ideas, you could change your life with this. So we're here to help you. This live stream is going to be on YouTube, and I hope you enjoy it. So leave it a comment, leave it a like, and we'll see you again in the next Vibe Code Bootcamp that will be here. Okay, this was very, very good to hear you from you guys. Just want to share that. Thank you for everyone who has been watching this. Anyone has some doubts that I could share with Mateus or something like that, I will try to read as fast as as fast as I can. If you are watching us, I am live at YouTube. We're live at an X, at Twitter, and we are live also at LinkedIn. So if you want to, you can leave a comment on there. We can ask for Mateus, and they will be able to help us. I'll be waiting. While waiting, I just want to say this is a very good opportunity for you that has an idea but doesn't have ways with technology, doesn't know how to code, doesn't work on IDEs, but has a good idea and trust in your idea, have faith on it, but you don't have like the meanings or the way to achieve it. The Vibe Code is here to stay. With AI, we can do a lot of things, and with the right people and the right connection, we can make this idea to turn a business. Okay? So I'm not seeing any doubts here. I'm just will be closing the stream. It was a very big pleasure to be here with you guys. Peter, the intern, is sending you guys out now. Thank you.